Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's Mental Monday. I want to share more of my personal mental health story again today. So I've talked about burnout a lot, like a lot. I will link the Mental Monday playlist if you want to go find those. Yeah, I've done a lot. So I thought I would give a little bit of an update on things and kind of just share where I'm at right now, share my goals and where I'm going with it, and what I'm hoping to work on in 2019. Because I feel like the beginning of the year isn't obviously the only time you can start a new habit, you can make changes, you can start fresh, but it's a really good point to try to, and it can be really encouraging to set goals for a year and then a year later see what progress you've made. It can be really encouraging and just really help your progress. So, as far as mental health goes, I have had a little bit of an up and down this year as far as burnout and finding balance and kind of juggling everything that's going on. So I started out the year really needing balance still and kind of still in the transition of trying to heal from burnout. I dealt with a lot of burnout in the middle of this year with all of the transitions going on. Just a little gist of that, if you're new to my channel, is we got super short staffed, so I was working crazy amounts of hours. I had to last minute direct a summer camp. I finished my master's degree, and we've been in the process of foster care. All while doing YouTube a lot of the days and just having a life. So a lot has gone on, and I've been trying to finish the house and get it all set up and declutter and go through stuff and get rid of whatever we can. And that's difficult. That's work. And emotionally, that can be really draining because you're processing through a lot and you have a lot of brain work that has to happen while you're making a ton of decisions, while you're figuring things out, while you're trying to organize. All of that kind of plays into it. And I think that kind of maybe didn't backtrack my burnout as much as it stalled healing from it. And stalled any progress forward in that. And we've kind of been in survival mode since, with everything going on. It's been we're kind of just taking everything as it goes. So, at this point, ending the year, I feel more capable of trying to find that balance than I did before when I attempted to. And I feel like I have a better grasp on what I can expect of myself, what limitations I have, what I need, and really my problem areas that I need to focus on. Mainly sleep and routines, and actually adding in self-care items that I specifically schedule in. And I think that's the difference between like before when I just talked about implementing it versus actually scheduling it in and carving out the time for it and saying, nope, this time is for that, and kind of having that routine with the self-care also, like I've talked about. So a lot of my goals for 2019 are to implement those things and kind of take the end of this year to set myself up for success in that. To set myself up for being able to create routines that I'm actually able to stick to. To be able to actually honed down my schedule enough that I have those leeways that I can fit things in like self-care, that I can say, oh, hey, I'm going to do that then. And I just pare down my responsibilities almost, like fast track everything I'm doing to be a little more streamlined and get ahead of things instead of feeling like I'm just trying to keep up and maintain where I'm at but not making progress. So I don't know if this is really much different than like where I've been saying I'm at, because I've been in this point for a while with everything going on. Our schedule has played a huge part in it. And I think an element of that has been the hardest on me is, okay, so I get home finally and I have so much I need to choose from to actually prioritize to get done. Whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's doing the dishes, doing the laundry, at least starting the process of one of those. And there's, okay, I need sleep somewhere within that. And I need time with my husband somewhere within that, and having a very short time period to try to fit that into. I feel more capable than I did before. It doesn't feel as daunting to try to actually reach some of those goals that I want to reach in it. And I think my biggest goal is to baseline, have those routines where I am taking that self-care time and I am streamlining what I'm trying to stay on top of to then alleviate that brain work. I know I always talk about this, how, writing things down and making decisions ahead of time helps with decision fatigue and overwhelming yourself, and all of those things can be so alleviated by doing that. And I think being able to get a little more realistic with how that can be accomplished and what I actually should be expecting of myself is the most important element of that actually happening. I'm one that it's easy for me to say, yeah, I can do these 5 things, and then reality hits and life happens, and that's not possible. That's not realistic, and that's not fair to put that pressure on myself. That's my biggest goal. And I think my next biggest goal is to work on as far as mental health goes, my self-care and the way I treat myself, the way I talk to myself. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I don't give myself enough credit. I'm really good at giving everybody else their credit, at standing up for everybody else, at just advocating for everybody else, and I don't have the self-talk that I should, and I don't treat myself the way I should, if that makes sense. I'm really hard on myself. I expect a lot of myself, and I'm really harsh on myself when I don't meet my own expectations that are like unrealistic and higher than they should be, higher than is fair to put on myself. That was a lot of talking about myself. But that's a goal, to kind of get out of my own head with it and learn to treat myself better. And that is a major thing for me for 2019, I think. And I don't know if I'm going to connect this to like a word for the year or not, but it would probably be a good idea to have that be the theme of some of the things I'm doing as I'm working on this. And keeping that accountability and like, how are you guys seeing this happen? Is this being accomplished? Am I actually paying attention to this? Or is it just something that I've said I want to do and I use excuses like being too busy? So things like that are what I'm focusing on in the mental health area for 2019. I'm sure I could list a million things that I want to fix in that department in 2019. But another part of healing from burnout and not adding to my overwhelm is to keep that simple and accomplishable and realistic. So I don't want to overwhelm myself with this list of things I need to change in every single department. And I think that's been my fault in the past with trying to progress in this area. So those are my thoughts. That's kind of an update. I'm feeling not super out of the woods, but I'm definitely feeling more capable with being able to accomplish this, more like it's not unrealistic, and more like I can actually figure this out. It's just going to take time, and it's going to take going out of my comfort zone and changing things that are going to feel weird in the beginning. And maybe I'll do a whole detailed video on what those changes might be. So if you guys would be interested in that, let me know in the comments below. But I hope this helped one of you. I hope this was encouraging as you're thinking about the beginning of the year and what next year is going to look like. If you are struggling in this department, you are not alone. And if you are making mental health goals for 2019, you are not alone. And I just want you all to know that. So if you enjoyed this, if it helped you in some way, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe and have notifications on. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye!